Hello and welcome back. Today we're taking a slight detour from our usual sports cars and classics to review a sublime little city car, the Toyota IQ. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe and click that lovely bell icon so you don't miss the next show. The IQ debuted at the March 2008 Geneva Motor Show. Japanese sales began around November 2008 and European sales followed in January 2009. In 2008, it was named Japanese Car of the Year. The IQ is one of those rare things, a genuinely unique car. Slightly longer than the Smart, it aims to pack in seating for four. But while its boxy shape and wheel at each corner stance is distinctive, its looks have divided opinion. It's aimed at thrusting young town dwellers wanting something small and desirable. However, the Toyota badge does the tiny city car few favours, and it simply doesn't have the cachet of, say, a Mini, a Smart or an Abarth. Toyota offer two engines in the IQ, starting with a 1 litre 3-cylinder petrol from the iGo city car. Performance is predictably modest, although the IQ feels faster than the on-paper figures suggest. The 0 to 60 sprint takes less than 14 seconds and the Revy engine is characterful. While plenty of sound deadening and tall gearing make it surprisingly refined at motorway speeds, this car here that we're in is the 1.3 petrol engine, which does offer more impressive performance with a 0 to 60 time of just over 11 seconds, but it doesn't quite sound as characterful. As you can see, the boot is tiny. Well, in fact, it's pretty much non-existent. You've got about 4 inches here depth. Of course, you can drop the seats, but in reality, it's not really a 4-seater. It's really a 3-seater because there's no way an adult can sit behind the driver. Okay, I suppose, as ever, it's time to give it a test drive, see what it is really like on the road. Okay, let's talk about the acceleration. Yes, it does feel quicker than its 0 to 60 stated time of 11 seconds, but it's really lethargic. You've got to really get the revs up for it to do anything at all. Does it really matter with a city car? Probably not. But it's nice to have a bit of extra power to overtake, etc., like I'm going to do right now. Just nice to have that bit of extra oomph to go. Yeah, it's just lethargic, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I would describe the inside as a bit like the TARDIS. It looks tiny on the outside, but when you get in, it feels really spacious. There's lots of light. It's nice and wide, the car, and that's where that feeling of space comes into it. The ride is fairly firm, but I think it's because the wheels are at the far extremities of the actual car itself. One thing I do notice is when you go over a bump, you feel everything through the steering, and it jolts the steering wheel almost. If you're going at a higher speed, you feel it more. At lower speed, it's not too bad. So let's get our foot down. It takes such a long time to spool that engine to change gear. It's quite frustrating for me personally, but for most city drivers or commuters, it's not really an issue. I do like the interior layout. It's got some nice premium materials inside, a metallic finish on the top of the dash here, which I really like. The steering wheel feels lovely in the hand. It's nice and chunky, very sporty actually for a city car, and it's also got a flat bottom to make it feel again more sporty. Something you notice in the car is the visibility. It's phenomenal inside because you've got these massive big door windows. You've got a nice big windscreen because of the width of the car, as we said earlier. You've even got a rear quarter panel window. So, you know, look-in visibility, parking would absolutely be a breeze in this car. You've got light steering, quite a firm suspension. You've got a lovely little shift light as well, which lights up on the dash to tell you to change up or change down. So the car is at its most fuel efficient. Expect to get 60 plus to the gallon out of this car, so it's very, very economical. So if you're using it for your commute to work, it's perfect. It's certainly going to save you a lot of money. So the clocks are very basic. You've got just your rev counter and your speedo. On the left, there's a tiny little screen. It's like a digital screen to tell you your fuel gauge and also what's on the radio, and a nice little digital clock. So you've got a couple of the buttons on the dash. You've got a traction control button. You can turn it off, believe it or not, which is a nice feature. You've got an eco button for your stop-start technology. You've got a little auxiliary to plug in a phone or a charger of some description. And you know, I really like the interior. It's quite nice. It's very basic, but quite modern looking as well. So there you go, the Toyota IQ in a nutshell. A lovely little city car, very compact on the outside, but very spacious on the inside. A clever piece of design, I think, by Toyota. And of course, Aston Martin based their Signet model on this, so that gives you some indication of how well it was designed. Thanks for watching this short review on the Toyota IQ. Don't forget to check out the other videos on the Tim Bush channel, including some performance cars and classic cars. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Cheers!
You have been watching the fabulous Tim Bush channel.